Hey guys, Madison here. I'm back from vacation and I had a wonderful time, but I'm so excited to be back watching another movie with you guys. I think this week is Film Friday number 43. I hope y'all enjoyed the From the Vault reaction that I uploaded while I was on vacation so that you guys would have something new to watch since I couldn't actually record a new reaction last week. I explained in my intro that I'm uploading reactions that have not been uploaded to YouTube. They were filmed back in 2021, but they've never been uploaded on YouTube, so they are new to most of you. And I'm going to continue uploading those at intervals. The response has been very positive so far. I'm so glad you all enjoyed my reaction to Rocky. I certainly loved the movie, and I definitely want to watch the second one at some point. I've put it on polls, but it hasn't won yet. I might just have to eventually watch it by executive decision. So for today's reaction, I'm going to be watching Misery, which is another film directed by Rob Reiner, who directed A Few Good Men, which I just watched 3 weeks ago now, I think. And I absolutely loved it. From what I know about this movie, it's going to be completely different, though I know very, very little about it because I actually read less about this movie than I normally do with movies I'm reacting to, because usually I read the little synopsis on Amazon or Google or whatever, and I've gotten really frustrated with the amount of spoilers that are given in synopses. I'm like, why do they do this? Like several times, I just expect to like kind of the general premise or whatever. Whoever's writing these keeps putting spoilers in them, and so sometimes like a twist will happen in a movie and I'm like, why was that in the synopsis? So I've been just getting really frustrated with that. So for this one, I did not even read the little synopsis on here. I know very little about it. It was actually first recommended to me by a family member, and she was like, you need to watch this movie. And so I was like, okay. I know this movie stars James Caan, who sadly passed away recently. Fantastic actor. I believe the only things I've seen him in are The Godfather Part 1 and 2, but absolutely fantastic job as Sonny Corleone. And I'm interested to see how this role is different or at all similar to that character. But yeah, I know next to nothing about it apart from it's apparently based on a Stephen King novel, which apparently we're starting September off with Spooktember, am I right? So I'm expecting scariness because hello, Stephen King, so I'm a little nervous, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes and what this movie is all about. I'm excited to find out. So without further ado, guys, let's do this. Writing away. Always so satisfying. The end. Where are we? We're in some remote cabin in a scenic location.
Well, got it.
Wow, we are really in the middle of nowhere. This looks like Washington or Oregon or, I don't know, somewhere out west. Wyoming, Montana. Road looks kind of dangerous. Uh-oh. Curvy road coming. Maybe he should pull over. Not good.
I've been a writer since I got in the misery business.
Not a bad business. Misery Chastain put braces on your daughter's teeth and is putting her through college. Bought you 2 houses and floor seats to the Knicks. And what thanks does she get? You go and kill her.
I never meant for it to become my life.
No, I'm leaving for Colorado to try to finish the new book.
Colorado.
I might just have something I want on my tombstone.
A little quick to grab that manuscript. Impressive, just tossing him over his back.
I'm your #1 fan. There's nothing to worry about. I'll take good care of you.
That was terrifying.
You've been here 2 days. You're gonna be okay. My name is Annie Wilkes. I'm also a nurse.
Yeah, any normal person would have called an ambulance and sent him to a hospital. I don't care if you're a nurse or not.
What are they?
They're called Novril. They're for your pain.
How come I'm not in the hospital?
The blizzard was too strong. I couldn't risk trying to get you there. I tried calling, but the phone lines are down.
I don't believe her. My alarm bells are going off. I mean, this is Stephen King, so. I feel like we're gonna have a kidnapping on our hands.
What I'm most proud of is the work I did on those legs. Considering what I had around the house, I don't think there's a doctor who could have done any better. You've got a lot of recovering to do, and I consider it an honor that you'll do it in my home.
Tell me I'm being silly.
Oh, a little overprotective maybe, but if anything turns up, I'll call you right back.
Oh, I'd appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
Goodbye, Miss Sindel. Virginia, when was that blizzard?
Last Tuesday? Why?
No reason.
Even the way he's doing that rubber band is unsettling. It's the little things in scary movies.
In a way, I was following you.
You were following me.
Well, it wasn't any secret to me you were staying at the Silver Creek. I've read everything of yours, but the Misery novels, I know them all by heart. All 8 of them. I love them so.
That would be sweet if it wasn't so creepy.
I wondered if maybe...
You want to read it?
You'll never realize what a rare treat you've given me.
So this is a totally different book with different characters, right? I was gonna say, like, what if she gets really mad that he killed off Misery? Misery's child, or whoever that girl is that his agent was talking about.
The profanity bothers you.
It has no nobility.
These are slum kids. Everybody talks like that.
What do you think I say when I go to the feed store in town? Oh, now, Wally, give me a bag of that effing pig feed and there, look there! See what you made me do?
I love you, Paul.
Yeah, this is gonna escalate quickly.
Virginia, when you're in this car, you're not my wife, you're my deputy.
This deputy rather be.
See that broken limb?
Could have been the weight of the snow.
Could have been a lot of things.
Need some help?
No, I'm enjoying myself. Thank you.
He needs to find the car and the tracks leading away from the car. No! No, he's right there! Oh my gosh. Why didn't he just go like 10 more feet? So close, and yet so far.
Look what I got. They had it at the store, Paul. There was a whole batch of them there. I called the hospital, and I talked to the head orthopedic surgeon.
The phone's working.
Well, mine's still out, but the ones in town were working just fine. Oh, Paul.
Hole in the story.
Very beginning. The
So
agent
this
said
is the
she'd tell her
new
you were
one.
okay, but I'm afraid you'll have to wait till tomorrow if you want to talk to her yourself.
Okay, so she hasn't read the one where Misery dies. She's gonna have a meltdown.
Oh, Paul. What a poet you are.
She's gonna have a meltdown when her favorite character dies. Oh my gosh.
My specialty. It's not just great, it's perfect.
Just wait till you get to the end. She's gonna come raging, like bursting through that door and be like, "Why did you kill her?" What?
Paul, say hello to my favorite beast in the whole world, my sow, Misery.
My husband left me. I've only got 2 chapters to go on this one, and I know when I finish, I'll just turn right to the first page and start reading it all over again. I'd love to stay here and chat, but I'm right at the end, and I gotta find out what happens.
I'm scared.
You dirty bird. How could you?
The spirit is the important thing, and Misery's spirit is still alive.
I don't want her, bitch! I want her! And you murdered her! You murdered my Misery!
Eddie!
Nobody knows you're here, and you better hope nothing happens to me. Because if I die, you die.
Oh my gosh. This is an author's worst nightmare. Oh my gosh. Chills. Like, ugh. If you didn't know already, he knows now just how cray-cray she is and he needs to get out. But how? If his legs are broken. Oh, that's gonna hurt. This is agonizing. That would hurt so bad. I can hardly watch.
Daisy.
She must be so strong. Like, she just carried him on her back when she got him out of the car wreck.
Sometimes my thinking is a little muddy. I accept that. That's why I couldn't remember all the things they were asking me on the witness stand in Denver. But this time, I asked God. God said, I delivered him unto you so that you may show him the way.
Show me the way.
Yes.
Is she gonna burn his manuscript? No. He better have a... No, he's not gonna have a digital copy. Oh my gosh. The pain. I can't imagine.
My agent made dozens of copies. There's going to be an auction in New York. Every publishing house in New York is reading it now.
Ooh, what a bluff.
It's no big deal.
So you've indicated. Do it.
Shoot. It was a nice effort.
You've never made any copies because you're superstitious. That's why you always come back to the Silver Creek Lodge. You told that story to Merv Griffin 11 years ago.
As a writer, this pains me. I can't imagine. And not having another copy.
We're put on this earth to help people, Paul. Like I'm trying to help you. Help me help you.
What were you on the witness stand for? Tries to make something new. Move on from a character he's been writing for years, and this is what he gets.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, he would still have a lot of it in his mind, but not exactly the same. R.I.P. Untitled.
That's no 65 Mustang. Well, there's nothing else out this way. Let's circle back.
Why don't they question people? They should go to her house and question everyone in the area. Anyone who lives in that area, they should be at their door questioning them. Have you seen Paul?
I do believe the winters are getting shorter.
Have you seen this car? Fire and brimstone on this woman. Might want to stop taking those. Uh-huh. I wonder if she was even giving him real pain medication, or if it was just something to keep him bedridden. That'll work.
I always wanted to visit the other side of the room.
Ooh, and look what I got for you. You're gonna write a new novel. Your greatest achievement ever. Misery's Return.
You just expect me to whip something off, is that it?
I expect nothing less than your masterpiece.
This is not the ordinary way in which books get written.
No pressure. Bobby pin.
I can't work on this paper. See, it's crassable bond and it smudges.
Oh, it does smudge after all. Isn't that fascinating? Would you like a tiny tape recorder? Or how about a handmade set of writing slippers?
Well, just the paper will be fine.
Well, I'll get your stupid paper, but you just better start showing me a little more appreciation around here, Mr. Man. Ah!
She's got major issues because of her husband leaving her. Which, can we blame him for leaving her? Pick a lock with those. At least he has a wheelchair now, he can actually get around. Yep. Hard to kind of maneuver in that thing. The tension in watching this man try to pick up a bobby pin. Then what? She took the car. I just know she's gonna catch him. I just know she's gonna come back and it's not gonna be pretty. I mean, he could go out a window, like his bedroom window, but then he'd be without the wheelchair, so. The telephone. She really did take out her phone. She thought of everything. I wonder how far the drive is. Maybe 10 or 15 minutes. I don't know how far out she is. Oh. Oh no, you gotta put it back the right way. She's gonna notice it's been turned. How many doors? Guys. Yeah, he's thinking about it. Uh-oh. No way he's gonna make it before she gets in there. Oh. He might make it, he might, but I don't know. And that would be hard, trying to make the door locked.
I hope it's enough. 3 reams of long grain Mineo. Just the kind you asked for.
Hide those.
Paul.
I've been sitting here suffering. I need my pills. Please, make it go away.
It just breaks my heart to see you like this.
He sold it.
You'll be brilliant. Think of me as your inspiration.
Oh, he will for his next horror novel.
The presumption must now be that Paul Sheldon is dead. We also know that if anyone had found him, they would have taken him to an area hospital. Undoubtedly, he is buried somewhere.
He never crawled out of that car by himself. You see the dents on the door there. Someone pulled him out.
Blank page.
And just before the car went off the cliff, he jumped free, and all the kids cheered. Have you all got amnesia? They just cheated us. This isn't fair. He didn't get out of the cock-a-doodie car.
They always cheated like that.
Misery was buried in the ground at the end, Paul, so you'll have to start there.
Just do what the woman wants. And then, in the meantime, plot your escape. Write whatever she tells you. Write your real book later. Write her little fan fiction the way she wants you to write it.
Will she still love him with that special, perfect love?
You'll have to wait.
Oh, Misery's alive! Misery's alive! Oh, it's so romantic.
Would you have dinner with me tonight to celebrate Misery's return?
It would be an honor.
No, he's not here. I don't know where he is. He never tells me anything anymore.
This is so meta. This whole thing is so meta.
Wait a minute. He's coming in now. It's Jim Taylor.
Is he gonna put those pills in her food? Or her drink?
Let me pour you some wine.
He put it in the wine, didn't he?
Do you have any candles?
Oh, I don't know. I think so. I'll go look.
Now he's gonna put it in.
Pick things up over the years.
Well, it certainly says you. To Annie Wilkes. Brought her back to life.
Oh, Paul, I get goosebumps every time I think about it. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, my God, what have I done? Oh, I'm so sorry, Paul. I ruined your beautiful toast.
No. No.
Let me pour another one.
He's like, why? Why me?
Can we pretend this never happened? To Misery.
Misery.
Yeah, it's a Misery, alright. Misery loves company. That was it, that was the moment. I mean, he could always do it again later. What happens when he finishes it? Wow, this is a long book. Weightlifting the typewriter.
I only love the writer part of Paul Sheldon. But now I know I love the rest of him too.
Now she's never gonna want to let him go.
I know you don't love me. I have this gun. I might put bullets in it.
There is a justice higher than that of man. I will be judged by him.
How many people has she killed? Oh my gosh. I thought maybe she'd killed like 1 or 2 people, maybe. But this is next level. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you don't have to feel bad about killing her, do you, buddy? Wow. And she has a scrapbook about it. That is so freaking terrifying. Maybe you should pretend to be asleep and then do it.
See you in the morning.
That moment when you realize your #1 fan is a serial killer. No! No! I don't know why that scared the crap out of me, but it did. Why'd she do that?
Oh. My little ceramic penguin in the study always faces due south.
I knew she was gonna see that.
Is this what you're looking for? I realize you just need more time. Eventually, you'll come to accept the idea of being here.
Any for God's
Shh, darling. Trust me.
No.
sake.
It's for the best.
Eddie, please!
I can't look.
God, I love you.
Oh my gosh. Just when you think it can't get any worse, it does.
Right on this!
Help! Help!
Yeah, surely he would have heard about all that in that small little town. Bloodhound's on the trail now. Your time's coming, Dragon Lady.
You wouldn't happen to know if Miss Wilkes bought one of them, would you?
Every time that fella writes a new book, she has me set aside the first copy. Ms. Wilkes done something?
Not a thing.
I love this sheriff, man. He's great. Dadgummit.
He's been missing for quite some time now, and
I
we
know, it's so upsetting. I'm his #1 fan. Here I am, prattling on, and my manners have just flown away. I haven't invited you in. Please.
Thank you.
Please let nothing
know all about that horrible
happen to the sheriff.
God told me to get ready,
Get ready for what?
to be his replacement.
God told me, since I was his #1 fan, that I should make up news stories as if I was Paul Sheldon. Would you like a nice hot cup of cocoa?
No, really, I don't
It's
care.
no trouble. There's some already made.
Don't drink it. Please don't let anything happen to this sheriff. He's a good.
Get lonely.
He's a
Living
good
out here all
man.
by yourself.
He's trying to help. Downstairs, downstairs. No.
Here you are.
Oh, thanks, Miss Wilkes, but I don't want to take up any more of your time.
And taste your cocoa.
It's wonderful, Mr. Sheldon?
Oh my gosh. Dang it. That sheriff deserved better. His wife.
Now don't be afraid. I love you.
Oh my gosh. Guys.
I love you too. We have the power to give misery eternal life. We must finish the book.
You need a cigarette because you used to smoke, but you quit, except when you finish a book. And you need one glass of champagne. Dom Perignon. Oh, Paul, this is so romantic. Ian and Winthorne dueling for the right to misery's hand. Does Ian win?
You'll know everything in a minute. Get the champagne.
Paul, you can't!
Why not? I learned it from you.
No! No! Not my misery!
That would have knocked her out, man. Well, there went the 2 bullets. Is she dead? I never know anymore. You always think they're dead and then they're like, Dadgummit! Oh my gosh.
In some way, Annie Wilkes, that whole experience helped me.
How would you feel about a non-fiction book about what went on in that house?
If I didn't know you better, I think you were suggesting I dredge up the worst horror of my life just so we can make a few bucks. Even though I know she's dead, I still think about her once in a while.
Are you Paul Sheldon?
Yes.
I just want to tell you I'm your #1 fan.
Oh my gosh. That is absolutely terrifying. I mean, what else would I expect from Stephen King, right? And that must have been so meta for him to write too, as an author writing a story like that. Makes you wonder if it was a little bit of a self-insert kind of thing. Like, I wonder if, I don't know much about Stephen King's personal life, but it makes me wonder if he had some creepy encounters with fans, and this was like his channeling of those experiences into fiction, and so that just makes the whole thing even more meta. There's a fine line. There's a fine line because every author wants to be admired, even if they don't want to admit that. Like, every author wants their story to be popular, and they want people to love their story, and they want people to love them and their writing, and you long for that. But at the same time, I think for anyone in the public spotlight, there's a fear of people becoming obsessed with you, the creepy people out there becoming your #1 fan, and you want people to admire your work and love your work and connect with your characters and your stories and be moved by them and inspired by them and all of those things. But then there's the unhealthy side of that, where some people can become a little too obsessed. And yeah, this is like the extreme version of that. Like, I mean, it happens all the time in real life where celebrities will have stalkers, people following them. And, you know, I will never forget this story I heard about Robert Pattinson one time, where I think he was staying in a hotel or something somewhere, and there was a girl like waiting outside, and he invited her in and actually had dinner with her. And the funny part of that story is I think he was probably intentionally as boring and uninteresting as he could possibly be, and so then she just left because he did not fit her dream, her like visionary, like her imaginative conjured up version of him in her head, her idealized version of him. He didn't fit that, so then she just left, which good. You hope that people like that would come to their senses, but then obviously this lady Annie Wilkes did not. But I mean, there's people like that out there, people who stalk and people who just get crazy obsessed with other people, and they don't have to be famous people, just people in their lives, like the crazy ex-boyfriend or crazy ex-girlfriend who's obsessive and they can't let that person move on with someone else and they try to make them miserable. It's so terrifying because it's real, you know, that kind of stuff happens to people. Usually not in this extreme of a case, but sometimes it does. A lot of murders are a result of jealousy and kind of that obsessive, like, this person is mine and you can't have them kind of thing. Gosh, what was so creepy about Annie is that, by the way, Kathy Bates she did a fantastic job, absolutely terrifying. What was so terrifying about her is that she had this, on the surface, very sweet, like cute, innocent persona, the way she dressed, her little cross necklace, even her hairstyle was very little girl-like, very childish, the way she had kind of the short haircut and the cute little, you know, barrette on the side. And just the way she talked was very childlike. And, you know, she could have been such a cute character, right? But when you know the truth about her and what she is, and then how her mask she puts on and that kind of cute, innocent persona she portrays to the world, when you know what she actually is, the dragon lady, it's freaking terrifying. James Caan too, man, like, this was this movie about 20 years after The Godfather Part 1. He did such a fantastic job of making me feel his pain and his misery when he would just be crawling across the floor and when he'd be trying to lift his legs, like in the wheelchair. I mean, all of that could feel so inauthentic if done by a lesser actor, but he just sold every moment of pain so well that it was making me hurt. Like, I could feel the pain in my legs, you know, not literally, but you empathize with these characters so much and you want them to get out and you want them to survive, and he just really made me feel Paul's pain, his desperation to get out of that situation. And wow, what a different film for Rob Reiner than A Few Good Men. Completely different film, completely different tone, completely different genre, but I thought it was super well done and so just chilling and creepy, and that kind of scenario would be a nightmare for anyone. Just being trapped in this house and unable to get out, and no one knows where you are, they can't find you, and then someone finally shows up to help you, and I just feel so bad for that sheriff. He was the only one doing anything about it, and the only one on the right trail, and then that happens to him, and I feel for his wife. He was so likable. He was just like, he was like the Sheriff Bell kind of archetype, like No Country for Old Men, or like the Andy Griffith kind of type, you know, just the genuinely good sheriff trying to help as much as he can in a small town. And he was so funny, like he had a nice sense of humor. I loved his banter with his wife. And then that happens to him. That's like, the moments of violence in this movie were so shocking and jarring because most of it was never relaxed, but it was quietly intense, and like this quiet desperation. like violent things were not happening very often. So then when they did, it was very jarring and very like, oh my gosh, like the gore was shocking. Like when he got shot and when she hobbled Paul. I mean, moments like that were absolutely horrifying and I couldn't even look. Oh my gosh. But it was so well done. And I mentioned it in my reaction, just the tension of like watching him try to pick a bobby pin off the floor. It's the little moments often in movies like these where even when Annie's not there, or even when it's just little things happening, the key to keeping the audience engaged is always suspense and conflict. And you don't need Annie screaming her head off at Paul for there to be conflict. The conflict can be his fingers trying to pick the pin off the floor and struggling to do that, or him trying to reach the doorknob and trying to turn the doorknob. It can be the smallest moment, but as long as you have conflict in that moment, boom, audience engagement, audience investment. And I think that's really the key to a lot of good stories. Any good story really is having conflict, I would say, on every single page. And you might say every page, but I'm like, yes, because conflict can be anything. Conflict can be, it can be the smallest of things or the largest of things. It can be them having a fight to the death on the floor and her falling and smashing her head on a typewriter, or it could be the bobby pin. It could be him sitting there staring at a blank page trying to figure out what the heck he's gonna write. I mean, it could be the smallest of things to the biggest of things, and that's the key to a good story, and this one had it in every single scene. You can look for it. Every scene, there's going to be a minor conflict or a major conflict. So really well done film. This would have been perfect for October, actually, for scary movie month. But you know what? We're just gonna start it a little bit early with Spooktember, as some of my patrons have called it, because this was a terrifying, like concept. You know, it personal for me too. Like as a writer, I actually finished my first novel. Counting like final edits, I finished it a month or two ago. And I've since moved on to the publishing stage, trying to get it published, which is very exciting. But yeah, it's watching him having to burn his manuscript was just painful. As a fellow writer, I was just like, oh my gosh. But, you know, in the grand scheme of things, I guess it was meant to happen because he ended up writing something that now he really wrote it for himself. And now, because of that authentic channeling of emotion into that work, now he's getting the critics' praise and possibly awards and all of that. So it was really showing how he'd gotten burnt out over the years with writing the same character over and over, and he was in a rut. He couldn't break out of his writing rut. And then this horrible experience in whatever way opened him up to writing what he needed to write, what was in there, and he couldn't quite draw it out yet. Although, of course, he was like, you know, not wanting to write anything nonfiction about his actual experience, but the trauma he endured opened him up to, I think, love writing again and just be grateful for the process, because I think he'd gotten really burnt out on it. You know, saying like, I never thought this would take over my life kind of thing. Like he was kind of bitter about it, being known for this one series, one character, and he felt like, can I write something else that will be just as good? Which is understandable. I think that happens a lot with actors too, where they become famous for this one character they played in this movie, and then maybe they're afraid they're going to be typecast, or people won't give them a chance as, like, if they're known for playing heroes, maybe they want to play a villain, and that sort of thing. I think it's similar to what happens to a lot of authors. Like maybe they're known for writing romance books, and then suddenly they want to write a horror book, or something, just totally different, an action adventure story, and people try to kind of pigeonhole them into this certain genre. So yes, this was very much like a horror story, but also an author kind of conquering burnout and finding something new past this thing that he's become famous for. So anyway, I have rambled on about this enough. You can tell I loved this. I thought it was fantastic, although absolutely terrifying. Getting started with the scary season early this year, but I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. I certainly enjoyed watching this movie. Terrifying. Thank you to everyone who voted for it on the poll this week, and be sure to come back next week for another Film Friday to see what I watch next. Be sure to head on over to my Patreon if you'd like to vote, because I have a poll every week to help decide what I watch next. So head on over to patreon.com/MadisonKateTames and check out those benefits. And I will see you guys next week for Film Friday number 44. Bye, guys.